Hello, good day. Something here for you. And guess who's back again? Kayode is here again. Good to know that you're joining today. So, if you observe, we've been going through this particular story, Tori's life. In the book Habitat of Ordinary People by Olumide Olutola. And by the time you get through the story from the beginning to the end, you will see different emotions, different scenarios, and different scenarios of life playing out. But something struck me as I came by this passage on page 35. And by the way, just to let you have a feel of what the book entails, Habitat of Ordinary People tells the story of Tori and his struggle with overwhelming economic and political paralysis in an unpleasant society. The novel documents the complications that characterize his early life in a difficult and interesting neighborhood as he witnesses the rapid decline of a one-time famous and prosperous company for which his paternal grandfather worked and died. Forced by tragedy to relocate and live with his paternal grandmother, Tori's new motivation is his unflinching desire to escape from his new environment the first day he gets there. There are two things Tori does not know about himself and his family. His Tori's ignorance about his own life detrimental or beneficial to his quest to study his country's contested history. And you'll see where they spoke about the new environment. So that's what I came about here, learning about how some environments can be hostile. I'm thinking about it now. Have you ever lived in an environment that was hostile, especially as a child? It just felt like something was hostile about this environment. There's this backbiting. There's someone calling your mother a witch. There's someone calling your brother a wizard. Someone is just saying that you're a witch, and it just feels hostile. This is what you're about to experience right now. So I read from page 35. Tori and Bridget continue to adjust to life on Graeme Thompson Street after Moji left for Akure. He started doing some of the household chores Moji had taught him. He believed she'd come back soon. He liked her a lot and called her Mami Kekere, which meant my younger mother. Graeme Thompson was a strange place. The people there talked too much. If Tori heard the gossip about Bridget, he'd consider it extremely troubling. Some of the neighbors said she was a witch, that she killed her husband to fulfill her vow to her fellow witches. They rumored that she would soon use Tori to pay another due to those witches. They insinuated that Akin was upset with her and had left home because he was sure his mother had settled an old score with her fellow witches with the life of Lewa. They speculated that Moji was her accomplice and would inherit her mother's evil power someday. They said that was the reason the two got along well. Bridget had come to live among people who were more destructively superstitious than the people of Motoso, and she did not know that. Even if she knew that, how would she know the sources of their cruelly fabricated stories? Graeme Thompson Street was one of the 7 streets that made up Ebute, a considerably large community in the farthest end of Ayeka. It was a community on its own. But for Ayeka Oil Palm Company, Ebute could have been a separate town from Ayeka. It was a strategic place for business and water transportation between Ayeka and a few riverine towns. Ebute got its name because it was at the mouth of River Olua, a deep and long river that stretched all the way to Lagos and the Niger Delta. It was home to many fishermen, palm wine tappers, palm oil sellers, and liquor merchants. Cannabis business also thrived in the area. Ebute was famous for another reason. Biafra soldiers had bombed a small portion of it during the Civil War. The soldiers advanced to a town across River Olua and caused 15 bomb explosions in Ebute. One of the explosions left a permanent sinkhole in the area. The Nigerian government feared Biafra soldiers would make gains on its territory, and it quickly deployed soldiers to push the Biafrans back and fend off any invasion from them. After the war, a handful of the Nigerian soldiers who quashed the Biafrans' advances in Ayeka, most of them from the north, remained in Ebute and continued living there. And because Ebute was in the news for its strategic location and business opportunities, several non-Yorubas, including Igbos, Ijaws, and Ishekiris located to it after the Civil War. So, just in this short passage, we see a brief history about Nigeria's past, a horrible past, by the way. But yeah, we see something strategic more there. Young Tori in an area that's as hostile as anything. Imagine a young child going through such a hostile situation, living with people who had strong superstitious belief. And, I think, come to think of it, have you ever lived in an environment where the order of the day was gossip and it almost felt as if you had to, avoid people, or you had to settle one score or the other? Do let me know in the comment section. This has been an excerpt from Habitat of Ordinary People, and trust me, you will enjoy everything inside this book. I recommend it specifically for you if you love to read or you are looking for something exciting to read. So this is Habitat of the Ordinary People by Olumide Olutola. Ensure to get your copy now. See you later.